Well, this is the Green Line in Shorewood, and we're going to take a little walk. The Green Line is currently diverted off of Capitol. It runs off of Capitol over to Lake and then up to Hampton. Doesn't make any stops between here and there. So if you live someplace on North Oakland, this is where you gotta get off. Now, if you take the red line, this is where you get off all the time. So we're gonna cross here and we're gonna repeat the walk that folks who go by bus take every day. And this is going to be for a couple of months that we're going to have one-way traffic. I suspect most of the summer because of the construction. Today is a decent day weather-wise. I wouldn't want to be out here in the rain or in the snow. Now we're going to cross legally. Don't want to get a ticket from the Shorewood police. So we're going to time this, how long it takes to walk to the North Oakland neighborhood. You have some, it's going to be a little bit of a tour and with some fun commentary along the way. What's interesting about this point north on Oakland is there's no bus shelters. As progressive as we say we are, if you take a bus, you are exposed to the weather year-round. Now we're coming up on the Walgreens, and I want to point something out here. This used to be Sundex in Shorewood. It was destroyed by the Metro Market development. Now there's a parking lot. That combined with the underground lot, there's 200 spaces there. That lot, the construction of that lot had public support from the village of Shorewood. And it primarily serves, I suppose, some people who go to church and some people with businesses, but primarily people who live in the upscale light horse, which we are coming upon now. And it has, I believe, some lower income housing in it, but it's primarily an expensive facility. I don't even know if it's apartments or if it's condos. But if you have money, you get to have a parking ramp, parking garage. Now we're coming up. We're going to stop here because I don't want to violate the law. Now we're coming up on the Metro Market, which is something that a giant block-long behemoth of a facility. And Shorewood really takes great pains to position itself as a bikeable and walkable community. And if you were to believe the hype, you would believe that people ride their bikes all over town. I think anyone who shops at Metro Market probably has at most seen 2 bikes in this bike rack. So, like it or not, folks, we're a walking town, but when we go to shop for groceries, obviously everyone drives. So the other lot was 200 spots. This is a 300 spot parking garage that again enjoyed public financing support in the village of Shorewood. And obviously it's designed primarily if you shop at Metro Market, owned by Kroger Corporation. And also if you live in yet another upscale facility. So, and we're coming up on that now, on the corner here. So again, if you have access to lots of cash, you get parking in this village. I want to note, when we talk about parking, it's been demonized in this village, and yet it's a guilty sin that everyone participates in. Oh, I suspect there's probably a few, and God bless them, but the majority of us use our cars to get around. I have no idea what Benji is going to do. I suspect that they're closed because there's no access to that lot at all today. But talking about parking, your typical trustee has a 2-car garage and 2 cars. They have a nice comfy place to park their car off the street, and they enjoy the convenience of personal automobile transportation. But if you are lower income, you are basically shamed into having a car, because remember, they're selling a 49 spot lot. We've already walked past a 200 spot lot and a 300 spot lot. So now we're beginning to enter what is the North Oakland Avenue assessment district. Back in 1981, the village leaders noted that there was a severe shortage of parking in this area, and they bought a building and tore it down. It was called Zine Plumbing, and they went to develop a parking lot, a modest parking lot. What's interesting about that parking lot is how it was financed. It was not financed by the village. It was financed by additional tax assessments taken from property owners that would benefit from the parking, primarily larger apartments. And the cost was around $300,000 back in 1981, which ironically is more or less the same price that the village wants to sell the property to Spurl Commercial in 2026. No inflation there has been allowed, I guess. Here in the corner is the Signature. 1, 2, 3, 4-story building. Again, if you live there, you get garage parking or surface parking. Everyone gets a parking spot. And again, it's a very expensive place to live. Now we're beginning, here's North Shore Boulangerie, which Gene has had to close the store on Mondays and Tuesdays for lunch, or a period on Mondays and Tuesdays. Because he notes that people just don't have access to parking anymore, and he plans to continue that closure, which he attributes to the loss of the parking lot up ahead. Well, here we have these nice little businesses. I will say that this building is actually one of Shorewood's prettiest and really defines our community. I'm guessing that the development-oriented people who are trustees are salivating at the possibility of tearing this down and putting in 4 stories and removing even more of the charm of the community. Here we have a building that houses a number of small businesses. They have been especially upset by what's happening in terms of the sale of the parking lot. And now here we're entering some of the lowest priced rentals in our village. And guess what? They don't deserve public parking. No, if you're wealthy in this village, you get it. If you are not wealthy, you don't. So let's look at our timing here. It's a 10-minute walk to here. Imagine 10 minutes every day, both ways, coming from your $12 an hour job downtown, maybe stopping with a bag of groceries. This is the famous parking lot. What I find interesting, so the timing is going to end here. Oh, a person is stopping for me. Yeah, what I find interesting here is poor Mr. Spurl can't keep a sign up here. Whenever he puts a sign up, it's quickly vandalized, which demonstrates to you the anger of folks in the community about having this torn from them without any attempt by the village board or people in village government to reach out and ask the question, should we do this to your neighborhood? Here's another building that has businesses in it, lots of businesses. So I think we obviously don't have a conservative government. We don't have a socialist government. I think we have an elitist government. And that seems to be the worst possible kind. People who are trustees who are desirous of signaling their affordable housing credentials, but in the process screwing over the lower income people who live here. Now, I'll point out here, another high-end development, plenty of parking on the surface in the back and basement parking. And of course we have the Collectivo corner. Same story there. Plenty of parking in a garage. All of these new developments have parking because wealthy people won't have it any other way. And hey, I don't begrudge them. If I was renting here, I would demand it too. But the ultimate unfairness of this is that purportedly to benefit lower income people, we're screwing them over by making everyday life that much more difficult.